the day. 500 bucks. I have this whole van full of mattresses. My hair is all jacked up this morning. And I dropped off yesterday's full trailer. It's 1,400 bucks of a full trailer. I think yesterday in total I completed about $2,900. Or wait. No, it wasn't. It was about $2,500. And yeah, we made about 2,500 bucks yesterday. But we got off really late, like at 5:30 too. So we worked from 9 to 5:30, me and Maddie. We made 2,500 bucks. I made about 12. Maddie made about 1,100 bucks, something like that. But we completed a good night. Now, I emptied out my whole trailer inside the dumpster. Okay, I did do that. And now I'm going to drop off about 12 mattresses inside my warehouse. And the reason I'm telling you is how the junk removal business is moving into headquarters when 10 years ago, nobody really had any. Let's get into this video right now, guys. Hey guys, my name is Ricardo. I'm the owner of junkguysdfw. I'm a junk removal service here in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. I also own 2 haunted houses, one in Fort Worth and one in Dallas. And I want to talk right now about headquarters. So I've seen a lot of junk removal services that have headquarters. Now it's like the thing to do. I've always had a headquarters for the last 10 years, but now people are getting headquarters. And I want to talk about that. See guys, I started doing junk removal 18 years ago. 18 years, okay? And I'm going to teach you a little about the junk removal business. I didn't start getting my headquarters until 10 years ago. So 10 years ago, I decided to get a headquarters and base my business in one location, not out of my apartment or out of my home. No, I decided, hey, let's do this professional. Let's get a headquarters at a location. And I did. But now you're seeing a lot of these new junk removal services. They go out, they get a van, they get a truck, they get a trailer, or they get an NPR. They finance that. They finance all their vehicles, and then they go and they rent a headquarters too. So not only are they adding a bill to their expenses, they're adding a headquarters that they probably don't even need. And I don't understand why they're doing this. If you're in junk removal, I want you to know that I was 10 years into this business before I even decided to get a headquarters. But now people start this business 1 year in or 2 years in, and then automatically they're talking about, hey, we need a place to park our vehicles. No, you don't. No, you don't. Maybe you're getting a little ahead of yourself. Maybe you shouldn't have bought all those vehicles. Because see, guys, I didn't get a headquarters until I knew I was making money, until I was showing some kind of profit. I knew that this business was a tough business, and I knew I wasn't making any money for the first 8 years of my business. But as soon as I started making money, I knew, okay, it's time for a headquarters. Let's take advantage of it. Of course, both of my headquarters right now have dumpsters on it, 40-yard dumpsters where I dump all my stuff. It's either in Dallas or in Fort Worth. But if you're using a headquarters and you don't really need it, what are you doing, man? You're just taking on serious debt. You're taking serious debt and you're not making any money. All you're doing is paying the landlord to park your vehicles. But I think it's the ego that a lot of us business owners have. We've never been a business owner in our lives. We've never, monkey see. Okay, that's a good one, Sin City. Junk removal is monkey see, monkey do. Yeah, that's very true. They see a veteran like me that's been doing junk removal for so many years, and they're like, oh, if Ricardo can do it, he's a one-man crew, why can't I do it with 10 men? The difference is I can afford my property, and a lot of people can't afford it because they have too many expenses, they have too many employees, they have too many liabilities on their business already. And that has to be one of the up-and-coming things that I've noticed so much in junk removal. How many bills and how many expenses these junk removal companies have. Talking to a gentleman last week, And he was telling me about his expenses. I said, well, let's go through your expenses. He said, man, I'm not making any money, blah, blah, blah. Let's go through expenses. Well, I pay $50 a month for my CRM. I pay another $100 for my VA. What? I pay another, $39.99 for my SEO. I pay another guy for my website design, $150 a month. I pay for Google Ads. I pay for Thumbtack. I pay for Angie's List. I pay for Facebook. And I'm like, what? Okay, and that's just the underlining writing part. That's like just to get business. The funny thing is he hadn't even listed the biggest things, and that was his truck. That was his trailers. Everything was financed. Every single part of his business was financed. He started telling me his insurance. He started talking to me about his headquarters, and at that point he lost me. I'm like, dude, never mind. I just was in my head, I was like, dude, you're out there, bro. You're out. And I said, brother, you have so many bills, bro, I wouldn't even know where to start. You need to get rid of some stuff. And he was really not willing to get rid of any of his bills. He's like, no, I need it all. I need this, I need that. No, you don't. You need to make money is what you need to do. You're going to be out of this business pretty soon. He does YouTube videos too. It's what's funny about it. And I had commented on one of his YouTube videos. So a week later, he gives me a call and he asked me for advice. People ask me for advice and they only call me. I'm going to tell you when they call me. They call me when they're in trouble. Yeah, they do it. And here's a good. Vinny Brother says, a lot of people don't build a solid foundation and spread themselves so thin from the start that they break, thinking that's going to, oh, of course, Vinny. Yes, Vinny, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely, now that is a great comment right there. They build a foundation of expenses and they stretch themselves out so thin that by the end of 2 or 3 years, they realize that their bank account, Vinny, is still at zero. They still have the same $3,000 that they started with. There's no money to be spread. There's no money to show for. They have no money to show for. And that's what happens to a lot of these junk removal companies, man. They try so hard. They go and they beat themselves up to make money. And in the end, they never make anything. They're spreading themselves so thin. So thin. Oh. And, talking to this guy, and this video is not intended for the guy that I was talking to last night. This video is more intended for people, kind of teaching the people a lesson, like the newcomers in this business. I'm here at my headquarters, by the way, about keeping those expenses very close to you, but also keeping those expenses in a realistic way, knowing that, hey, man, I eventually got to make money out of this business. I eventually got to make money. You know what I mean? Am I going to be able to make money sooner or later? Dang, that was hard. I'm here at the warehouse right now. I'm unloading some stuff. Are you going to be able to grow your business? Are you able to incur these expenses that are so high and make any money eventually? And most of these companies and most of these junk removal services don't realize the bottom line. They don't realize what it takes to make some money in this business. They just don't have that train of thought in their mind. Because they're not business owners. They've never been a business owner. They've never owned a business. And they started junk removal because they saw videos on YouTube. And that's the reality of it. That is the reality of it. Alrighty, open that up. My van's got to fit in here in just a second. Guys, I'm always doing these videos in hopes that people can connect with what I'm talking about, but not only that, can connect with the stories that I say and can realize that what I tell you, damn, that hurt, is from experience. Okay, what I can tell is from experience. That's what I'm trying to understand to tell you.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Oh, you're a businessman, right?
Yeah. What's up?
I don't mean to bother you.
All right. Weirdo. Man, she's fucked up. She's all cracked out, man. Can you see her? She was like strung out bad. She's talking to herself now.
Can you give me a lift?
Oh, no, I'm working right now, ma'am.
Yeah, I heard you. Do you know anybody that does building, like building contract? That sounds dumb. Do you know any building contractors?
No. No, I'm sorry. What the fuck? All right, guys, I'm gonna go before she steals something from me. Little crackhead out there, dude. She's so jacked up. So jacked up. That's what happens when you have a haunted house in one of the worst parts of Fort Worth. You're gonna get sketchy people come by. Oh shit! I'm gonna come this way. All right. Anyway, hopefully, newcomers that are in this business understand what I'm trying to say. And understand why I do these videos to try to help out this community of junk removal. And it's not me being hard-headed or me being arrogant. It's me trying to teach people something, okay? I'll talk to y'all later, guys. Have a great week at work.